Chapter 4. Lord Nityananda's Grand Bathing at the House of Raghava Pandita. O brothers, listen attentively to the topics of Antya that describe the pastimes of Nitai Chandra. One day, Sri Gaurasundar, the Supreme Personality of Godhead appearing in human form, sat alone with Nityananda. Lord Chaitanya said, "Listen, magnanimous Nityananda, go immediately to Navadvip. I promised that I would drown everyone, including fools, fallen, and sinners, in the ocean of Krishna Prem. If you remain here with me, as an ascetic, keeping a vow of silence and concealing your enthusiasm, who will deliver the fallen souls of this world? You are the bestower of love and devotion. Please tell me, if you must always check yourself, what's the use of your incarnation? If you want to make my words true, go to Bengal at once. Deliver everyone by giving Krishna Prem to all the foolish, fallen, low class, and the distressed." Instructed by Lord Chaitanya, Nityananda Prabhu promptly left for Bengal with his own associates. Ramadas, Gadadhar Das, and Raghunath Vaidya, who were filled with love and devotion, Krishnadas Pandit, Parameshwara Das, and the most blissful Purandara Pandit all went with Nityananda Swarup to Bengal. As he began his journey, he first induced his associates to become ecstatic. They all forgot themselves. There was no end to the ecstatic symptoms that arose in their bodies. For example, the mood of Sri Gopal manifested in the body of Ramadas, the foremost among the Vaishnavas. On the way, Ramadas transfigured into a threefold bending form and remained unconscious for 9 hours. Gadadhar Das, absorbed in the mood of Radhika, suddenly began to laugh loudly, saying, "Who will buy yogurt?" The broad-minded Raghunath Vaidya Upadhyaya displayed the mood of Revati. Both Krishnadas and Parameshwara Das constantly created mischief in the mood of coward boys. Purandara Pandit climbed on a tree and jumped down, saying, "I am the great Angada." Nityananda Prabhu, the origin of Sri Ananta, inspired everyone to revive his original mood. They walked very fast, sometimes forgetting themselves and walking in the wrong direction. They often asked the local people, "Brothers, please tell us how to reach the bank of the Ganges." People would reply, "Alas, alas, you're on the wrong path. You just wasted 6 hours of your journey." Getting proper directions, they would return to their original path. When they again asked for the right way, the people told them to take a 20-mile detour and reach the original path. All of them smilingly walked along the road. They did not know their own selves, what to speak of the roads. None of them felt the urges of the body such as hunger, thirst, fear, or distress. They were totally merged in bliss. No one can describe the unlimited pastimes of Nityananda Prabhu on the way to Bengal. Nityananda Prabhu, the source of Sri Ananta, finally reached the village of Panihati on the bank of the Ganges. Nityananda Prabhu, along with his devotees, arrived at the house of Raghava Pandita at Panihati. Raghava Pandita was overjoyed to see Nityananda Prabhu. Sri Makara Dvaja Kara, who was a disciple of Raghava Pandita, also became very happy. Nityananda Prabhu, along with his associates, lived happily in the village of Panihati. He would roar loudly in ecstasy. Always overwhelmed with prem, he would go into a rapturous trance. When Nityananda desired to dance, 3 famous singers quickly assembled there. The most pious Madhava Ghosh, who was expert in doing kirtan. There was no better singer in the world. He was known as the singer of Vrindavan and was very dear to Nityananda Swarup. As the 3 brothers, Madhava, Govinda, and Vasudev, began to sing, the Supreme Lord Nityananda Prabhu began to dance. When the most powerful Avadut, Nityananda, danced, it seemed like the earth shook with every step. Nityananda continually chanted the name of Hari and shouted loudly. Seeing his tottering dancing, people were struck with wonder. Sometimes he glanced on someone while dancing. That person would fall on the ground filled with love of Godhead and transcendental mellows. This marked the auspicious beginning of Lord Nityananda's deliverance of the fallen souls. He danced for a long time, showing all the signs of ecstatic love. After some time, he sat down on a throne and ordered his servants to do abhishek to him. All his devotees, headed by Raghava Pandita, quickly arranged the abhishek, bringing thousands of pitchers of Ganges water mixed with various perfumes. With great satisfaction, they poured this scented water on the head of Lord Nityananda. Everyone chanted, Hari, Hari, on all sides. They all recited suitable mantras while doing abhishek and sang his glorification. All his associates submerged in the ocean of bliss. After abhishek, they put on new cloth onto him and applied sandalwood paste to his body. They decorated his broad chest with beautiful flower garlands mixed with tulsi. They set a throne decorated with gold before the Lord. Lord Nityananda sat on the throne while Sri Raghavananda held an umbrella above his head. The devotees began to glorify him, and there arose a crying sound on all sides. Everyone raised their hands and exclaimed, Save us! They all went into rapture of Krishna Prem. Lord Nityananda, absorbed in his own blissful mood, glanced at everyone, showering Prem, love of God, on top of them. Nityananda Prabhu ordered, Raghava Pandita, please make a garland of Kadamba flowers and bring it to me quickly. I am very fond of Kadamba flowers. In fact, I always reside in the forest of Kadamba. Raghavananda folded his hands and said, Lord, it's not the season for Kadamba trees to flower. Lord Nityananda said, Go home and look carefully. There may be a flower or two in some place. Raghava Pandita straightway went to his house. To his complete surprise, he saw something most wonderful. Beautiful Kadamba flowers blossomed on the lemon tree in his courtyard. How wonderful were the colors and fragrance of those flowers. Just seeing them frees one from material bondage. Seeing those beautiful Kadamba flowers, Raghava Pandita began to swoon in ecstasy. Controlling himself, he quickly made a garland of Kadamba flowers and brought it before Lord Nityananda. Nityananda Prabhu was very pleased and put the garland on at once. The sweet fragrance of Kadamba flowers overwhelmed the Vaishnavas, and they all felt very happy. Suddenly, the most wonderful thing happened. Everyone could smell the scent of some wonderful flowers. The enchanting aroma of Damanaka flowers filled all the 10 directions. Nityananda Prabhu smilingly said, Listen, brothers, can you tell me what you smell? Everyone folded their hands and replied, We smell the fragrance of wonderful flowers. The smell comes from all directions. Nityananda, out of his causeless mercy, began to explain most confidential topics. Listen to the mystery, for you must know the truth in detail. Today, Chaitanya Gosai came here from Nilachal to hear our kirtan. He wore a garland of Damanaka flowers and sat in a tree unseen. All the 4 directions filled with the aroma of that wonderful garland. To see your chanting and dancing, the Lord came from Nilachal. Give up all other affairs and always sing the glories of Lord Krishna. May all of you forever glorify Sri Krishna Chaitanya Chandra and be fully merged in the ocean of Krishna Prem. Saying this, Nityananda Prabhu shouted loudly and showered love of God in all directions. Being drenched in the rain of Prem, everyone swooned in ecstasy. Oh dear brothers, please hear the potency of Nityananda Prabhu, how he awarded Prem Bhakti to everyone in this world. By his mercy, everyone easily received the Prem Bhakti of the Gopis of Vrindavan as described in Srimad Bhagavatam. As Nityananda sat on the golden throne, all his associates continued to dance in front of him. Someone climbed a tree and walked out onto leaves and yet did not fall down. Out of ecstasy, Someone shouted loudly and jumped down from a tree. Someone roared like a lion and caught the root of the tree, pulling it out of the ground while chanting, "Hari, Hari." Someone went to the forest of betel nuts and gathered 5 or 6 trees together. With immense strength, due to love of God, he uprooted them all. All the symptoms of love mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam, such as shedding tears, being stunned, heavy breathing, perspiring, hair standing on end, roaring loudly, faltering of voice, paleness, and falling unconscious, were fully manifest in the bodies of everyone by the causeless mercy of Lord Nityananda. In any direction, Nityananda Mahashai mercifully glanced, he showered love and devotion. Anyone Nityananda looked upon would fall unconscious due to ecstatic Krishna prema. They would try to catch hold of Nityananda Swarup, who smiled sitting on his golden throne. Lord Nityananda invested his energies in all his chief associates. They became omniscient, their words became perfect. They looked as beautiful as Cupid. Whomever they touched with their hands were overwhelmed with love of God and forgot everything. Nityananda Prabhu lived like this in the village of Panihati for 3 months and continued his pastimes of distributing love and devotion. For 3 months, all the devotees were lost in ecstatic trance. They stopped all bodily activities. They did not eat for 3 months. All they did was continuously dance in ecstatic bliss. The blissful pastimes of Nityananda Prabhu, who enjoyed in the village of Panihati, will be described in the 4 Vedas. Who can describe the extent of the pastimes of Lord Nityananda performed within 1.5 hours? From time to time, he would personally dance with his devotees on all sides. Sometimes, he would sit down in a hero's posture and encourage all the devotees to dance. The dancing of only one of his servants flooded all the surroundings with Krishna prema. Just as banana trees fall flat by the force of a storm, so the devotees fell flat, overwhelmed by the happiness of prema. As Lord Nityananda was personally overwhelmed by ecstatic love of God, he turned all the devotees into models of himself. He constantly engaged in the congregational chanting of the holy names of Krishna, introduced by Sri Chaitanya, the Maha Mantra, and encouraged all the devotees to do likewise. Anyone who came to see him was overwhelmed with Krishna prema. Such was the example of his distribution of love of Krishna. Whenever any servant of Lord Nityananda desired to have something, he would instantly get it. Everyone merged in the ocean of transcendental bliss and did not know how 3 months passed. Accepting the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya and Nityananda Prabhu, I, Vrindavan Das, sing the glories of their lotus feet.